Something more?
Yes. I had a very, since I wrecked a little under 2 years ago, I don't dream much, maybe once or twice a month. And I had a dream about a month ago that was, well, maybe less than a month ago, that was more real than I've ever had. I mean, it was real. I'll try and describe it short. I basically was with a group of people, my father included, and I reached up to wave at him, and I reached up with my left arm, and it was there. And I have a lot of tattoos. Half of the tattoo I did have was ripped off from my arm. I have half of it still here. But when I reached up and waved with that arm, the tattoo was there again, but it was a different tattoo. And I saw, this is what finished the tattoo. It was very colorful. It matched what was on my arm. It was connected to it. There was a scar around where my arm ripped off at. There was a scar all around the arm from where it had, a new arm. But this symbol was there. I remember it very well. And so I was wondering if you had any idea what that was.
Well, there are a number of things that we want to say, and then we will speak specifically to that. Could you see it? The most important thing is that when you dream, do you know that a dream is a manifestation too? In other words, what you're thinking and feeling and what manifests is always a vibrational match. What you're living in your dream state is always a vibrational match. So when you have a vivid dream like that, it means that the vibrational aspect of your desire is complete, and in your dream state, since there's no resistance in your dream state, then you were able to experience the manifestation of it. Now there are a lot of people, realists, that would say, Abraham, you should not be encouraging something for something that as life goes seems pretty unrealistic or illogical. And we say there is nothing that falls into that category. You don't look at your television and think that there are little horses and little people running around in there. You know that it is a vibrational translation of an image that's being offered, and that there is a receiver that is depicting it. And we want you to understand that this thing that you're calling your real life experience, that feels so flesh, blood, and bone real, so knock on wood real, is only an extension of vibration. It's all about vibrational interpretation. So as in your dream state, which you accept as vibrational interpretation, in other words, you dreamed it and those images were real, you said it was as real as life itself, and we say yes, it was. And as you know that you're able to accomplish that in your dream state, as you have that knowing, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. As you hold that knowing, you have the ability to accomplish it in your wake state. You just have to not let the reality set you off your course of what you're reaching for. People will say, well, not many have done such a thing. And we say, it is irrelevant what anybody else has done. Nobody knows what you held in your vibrational escrow when you came in. Nobody knows what the contrast of your life put over there in your vibrational escrow. Nobody knows what the source energy within you is holding as what you are knowing. And nobody knows that energy that's calling you toward. And most of all, nobody knows what you're doing with your vibration in alignment or not, in coming into alignment with your desire or not. And when you come into alignment enough that you have a vivid dream about something, your alignment is very well in place. So in other words, you believed it enough to dream it. Do you believe it enough to live it in your physical life experience? And the answer to that will be given to you in your emotions. A feeling of doubt says no, not yet. A feeling of worry says no, not yet. And a feeling of exhilaration says yep, right on track. A feeling of anticipation says right on track. A feeling of hope says enough to dream it. You see? So what that symbol was, and it is an indication of where your arm was stubbed off, and then an arrow going forward, and then where your arm was stubbed off and the arrow going forward, and then the arm is stubbed off and the arrow going forth. And it is your logical way of interpreting. You heard us say earlier that Esther is not hearing us speaking words that she's repeating. It is a block of thought that she's translating. So in your dream state, you were receiving a block of thought with information that you translated into that image. And that image was a little more, 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 a little more. In other words, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. A constant holding to a picture of what you want must bring manifestation that matches it. And that image was about little by little by little by little, because so many people, we talked about Jerry and Esther moving from Phoenix to San Diego, and how because they know they're going to get there, they don't get halfway and get worried about it and then lose their orientation and end up back in Phoenix. But there are so many people who are sick on their way to wellness, who are vibrationally well along the way, who stop and take score. And since the manifestation is the absence of what they want, then they lose their grip and they turn around vibrationally and go back. And so that image was to let you know you have to stay steady in your idea of what's becoming, regardless of the manifestation, the manifestational indicator. And that's why your image was, it keeps showing it like it is but a little more, and showing it like it is but a little more. In other words, you have to hold the thought, and when you do, the manifestation will follow.
Okay.
And what a story you will have to tell. Good. And meanwhile, now here's an important part. Anything that you do to help yourself get around in the meantime is not contrary to that. You will not be holding yourself back by doing what makes it comfortable now, but you will be in a position where your artificial limbs will be replaced pretty regularly, because they're going to keep getting out of adjustment.
That was it. I'm good.
It's clear. Now what?